Welcome back, Chuckers, to another episode of the Vancouver Canucks GM Mode series. Private A-Licious here, and in the last episode, we signed some depth players for our HL squad and main roster. But also, I asked you guys, which team shall we trade both Sedins away, so that they can both contend to win and try to win their first Stanley Cup before they retire. And I read through the comments for some listed teams, and the first team that comes in mind is the Detroit Red Wings, which is not a bad team because they're always competing for a Stanley Cup. But the problem is, look at that salary cap available, 1.860. Very, very, very available cap space to accept both Sedins away. Accept both Sedins contracts. And obviously we can't get Zetterberg, Datsuk, Cronwell. That's their main guys. Detroit is trying to win another Stanley Cup. That means we gotta take back some salary, like Kyle Quincy, Stephen Weiss, Jonathan Eric, and maybe one of their youngsters like Nyquist. Yeah, even these three guys. It's still, well, it will go through, but I would have to add another player in. Let's say, who's my lowest valued player? Cannons, for example. That will go through, but those are not the assets that I want. Especially Stephen Weiss, considering he has, whereas 3 years left in that, with a cap hit of 4.9. That's not going to work. So Detroit is a no. Another team suggested is Columbus. But to me, well, why do we go forward? I want to go back. The problem is they don't want both Sedin twins, and they have no prospects that they're willing to give up. We know they're not going to give up Johansson because that's their future. That's Alexander Wenberg. They don't want to give up. Kirby Reichel, etc. Even Ryan Murray they don't want to give up because Ryan Murray is their future defenseman. Also, they're actually kind of stacked in left wing and center. So you have Johansson, Dubinsky. So Hendrick will either play the third or second line, depending how much he drops in overall. And we got left wings. Hendrick will be, depending how much he decreases next year, he'll probably play behind Nick Foligno and Sky Hartnell. In addition, Columbus is not really a good playoff team for them because they're more like a pretender rather than a contender. Just because if you look at the right wing depth, it looks pretty weak. So Columbus is a no. Well, Dallas does want both Sedins. Problem is, they'll probably want Daniel Sedin just because of how weak their left wing is. I mean, they have Sean Mathias and Antoine Rousseau. But Dak will probably fit in as that second line center. But Hank will find no place here just because of how deep they are in center. They're probably because they already have Sagan and Spezza. They probably want to give the third line to Cody Eakin because he has 3.5 Green Star, and they'll probably want to develop him anyway. So Dallas is a no. The other team is Florida, which was a playoff team, but they're more of a young, up-and-coming team. Not really a Stanley Cup winning team. And if we trade both the teams to them, they'll just be their number one play, their first line anyway. Also, they don't want both Sedins, so Florida is not an option, even though we have great relationship with them. The other one that I sort of like at the beginning, but I had some difficulty with in forming a trade or constructing a trade, was the Islanders, because there's a player that I want to get, and that is Ryan Strome. If you look at his stats, he's 4 Green Star potential, only 21 years old, but he has amazing puck skills and senses. He'll definitely help Kucherov get some goals. But the problem is that because he's in a two-way deal. Even if I trade one of the Sedins away, it still would not be enough. I would have to take back a player. And they don't have any, and they don't want to give up one of their roster players. Especially like Cal Clutterbuck or Tyler Kennedy. Also, they have like a decent trade value, so I would have to overextend just to get Ryan Strome since they don't want to give him up and they don't want Daniel or Henrik. So Islander is a no. The last team that I found was not a bad team for both Sedins is Colorado. Colorado wants both Sedins. And they're also there because Daniel will fit in nicely in that second line role behind Landeskog. However, center-wise, we could get back one of their top centers. Now, we all know I'm not going to get McKinnon just because Colorado will never give up Nathan McKinnon because that's their future. He's 19 years old, 87 overall, which is pretty impressive. And he has his 4.5 Green Star potential. So he'll grow like to be 94, hopefully 94 for them. So the best player to get from them is Matt Duchene. The reason Matt Duchene is because he has a nice contract of $6 million for 4 years as a first-line center. Also, even though he's older than McKinnon, he does have 4.5 Yellow Star potential. So he could potentially grow to be like a 60. So I'm sorry, not 60. I'm like a 90 overall at least, maybe 91, 92. But depends how much growth he has. I'm not talking about growth. I mean, how good of a season he'll have next year. So if we get Duchene back, Henrik will sit nicely in that second line, and O'Reilly may be able to play in the right wing with them. So you got like sniper in Dank, playmaker in Henrik, and two-way forward in Ryan O'Reilly, which is not bad for them. Also, they're willing to give up a first-round pick, something that I want, because for next year's draft, I don't have that many picks. I only have my first, but no second and third. The second I traded away for Kucherov, and the third was part of that Islander trade. I forgot when, it was last season. Involves Andre Pedan. So second and third is something I would like to acquire before the start of next year's draft. But anyway, I feel like this is a fair trade. Also, I gotta mention that Colorado went deep into playoffs than the other teams. I'll show you guys later in the playoff stream. So, will this trade go through? Yes, it does. We believe this transaction will contribute to our success here in Colorado, so we are accepting your trade offer. I'm quite happy with that trade, just because we have a first-line center that could play for us for the next 10 years or so. So anyway, I'll show you guys the playoff tree and why Colorado is the best. As you can see, they went further to the second round, and they almost beat Anaheim, or upset Anaheim. They already upset LA in the first round. So they were very close to reaching the conference finals. And also you can see Dallas is not really a contender. They got swept by St. Louis, the eventual champions. It's Dallas, and then in the East, yeah, Columbus was like probably a wildcard position. Same with maybe Islanders. Oh, who else? Yeah, Florida. Yeah, they're more like those lower seed teams, except the Islanders. So they won't likely help the teams win their first cup. But anyway, another issue I have to solve after the trade I've noticed is that we're below the salary cap floor. So let's go to free agency and sign us a center, one player. I'll probably get. Well, we could get Beletsky, but he probably wants to play with a contender just because he's in his prime already. So let's just pick up Marcel Gotch for 1 year. And we'll bump up that salary to, let's say, 2.5. Hopefully that'll bring us up the salary, help us reach the salary floor. There we go. So before we exit the free agency and enter the start of the next season, preseason, I would like to take the Sedins for their time in Vancouver. They have helped. We had a very successful at least 10 years, 14 years with Vancouver with of high success. So I thank you for that, Sedins. I hopefully you guys win your first cup in Colorado. So take care. Now for this season, I would like to say that my expectations for the team is that we will probably be I would say a playoff bubble team that will try to compete for that playoff wildcard position, but in the end we'll probably not make it just because of how young our team is. So this year we're going to focus on. I hope we're going to focus on development. Hopefully, most of our youngsters grow a few, 2 or 3 overall, and hopefully by next year they will compete for a playoff position. But yeah, that's my plans for that year. For this year. Oh wait, hold on. I just noticed something. We're still below the cap. This cap floor. So let's sign. I think because I've maxed out the rookie skaters. I mean my maximum amount of the skaters I have in my team. We need to pick up a goalie. And let's see. Let's bring back. Let's just bring Nikolai Kapibulin. Let's give him a give you 1 year. Let's say 2.5 as well. There you go. Let's see if Kapibulin resigns with us. Signs with us. Hopefully, this will be able to push us over the cap. I mean, salary cap, minimum salary floor. Sorry, I keep mixing up with cap. I meant floor. There we go. We're just over the cap floor. Nice. So anyway, as soon as the preseason games load up, I will back out to reset the player roles because for some reason EA Logic they don't do it. They don't actually reset the player roles as soon as you finish off season. But anyway, I'll see you guys. Oh, wait, first let's go to scout assignment first. Let's go to the OHL for forwards for 6 weeks, 5 weeks, and I'll go to my GM tracker to increase my my aperture scout, so we can uncover more potentials and attributes accurately. So anyway, I'll see you guys. Alright, I'm back. And let's see if there's any further growth. So let's go with centers. So Deshane's number 1 to be our first liner. Bonino, Campbell, Koch. Ooh, he dropped down to 879. Look at that. McCann went up to 73 from 70. Oh, look at that. Bo Horvath went up by 1, 83. He still is as a third line scorer, I guess. So let's swap him up, bring him with Jared McCann. He can play in the juniors. How about in the AHL squad? Cole Kessel went up by either 2 or 4. I think 4. So he's going to play that second line in AHL. With McCann, actually, I could send out Gotch for now. Actually, we'll just bring up for now. There we go. And all these youngsters going to the AHL squad. Let's see for left wings. Ooh, Birchie is 82 overall. Nice. Let's bring him up. Canucker is 82, so that's nice. So they're all listed as third line scorers. We got to figure out who's going to play that second line. For AHL squad, Cannon stayed the same. Shinkarak went up by 2, so he's 78. So hopefully next year he's ready to play in either third or second line. Vertonen 75 overall, jumped up from 70. That's nice. Right wingers. Ooh, look at that. Kucherov's 88 overall. Very nice. Coochie. He's ready to score some goals now. And with Duchesne by himself at center, I doubt. I'm positive he's going to get at least 30 goals. Then we have Rabada stay the same. Ooh, Keston did not grow. That's surprising. Perhaps he might just end up being a tweener between a second and third line. Ooh, Jensen grew to 82. So let's bring him up. Right, that's right wingers. Anyone in the not much growth though in the four. There's the right wingers. About defense. You have Cam Fowler grew a bit. Edler. Oh, Glendon grew. It was from 82. He's an 84 now. Went up by 2 from an 82. Pretty nice, especially for his contract. Visa stayed the same, so I think he plateaued. Tannen stayed the same, so I think he plateaued. Ooh, Corrado went up by 2, so he looks like he's ready to play. Done. That's for our defense. Goalies. Malcolm Subban is at 83, so let's bring him up. And yeah. Let's go our edit lines. Let's go to the best lines. Since put Verbata, Duchesne, Kucherov, Cassian, Bonino, Berchi, Horvat, Jensen, Hansen. You know, we'll scratch Yannick Hansen. And bring up Conacher. Okay. We'll put Burrows down there so you have a grindy fourth line and an offensive third line. Because last year, our main problem with offense is that we had some good contribution from the top 6. It's just that we don't have contribution from the bottom 6. So hopefully these youngsters will provide us with more depth score. Now let's go to defense. Cam Fowler with Edler. I was thinking of that with this. Pizza can play with Edler, and then you have the two righties together. Maybe that would work out. Power play. Yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, that looks nice. The Benino, Berchi, Jensen. We'll put Jensen there for now and see what happens. So let's put Corrado there. Is he better than Spiza? Sense is 3.5. Puck seals 3.5. How about Spiza? It's similar, but I think I want Corrado to grow just because Spiza didn't grow didn't grow that much from last year. So I think he just caps out at 83. I'm thinking of putting Bo Horvat in the power play. Just let me know in the comments below if I should put him in the power play. Okay, 4-line like this. Penalty kill. Okay, Kristanov with Spiza. Instead of Edler, I want to put in Glendening because I want this guy to grow. Okay, Bo Horvat there with I guess we could put Eric Fair. I'm looking. How good are you defensively, Eric Fair? Oh, you're not bad. Yeah, you know what? We'll just put Duchesne there. So, oh, wait a minute, power. Okay, yeah, we'll put Duchesne there. We'll put Duchesne in the bottom. Go same thing with the 3-man. Let's put in Bo Horvat, so he can grow even further. 4 and 4 lines would be like this. Shootout. And goaltender. There we go. So let's go to our AHL squad and let's edit the lines. So we have Shinkarik, Vey, and Setoguchi. Castles, Bobby Butler. Not bad. That looks good. Defense. Looks good too. Goalie wise. Yeah, I think that looks good. Next episode, we will start our year 2 simulation. Until then, this is Private A Licious signing off.